I want to welcome everybody to our charts and targets this morning. I really appreciate everybody being here, all members, and those of you that's logging in through our social media services. I appreciate it. Just as a reminder, we do start here every morning, Monday through Friday, at 8:30 Eastern a.m. Okay, a.m. Today is Tuesday, October 7th, by the way. Hey, Thomas, good morning. Alan, Tammy, Coach, Tommy, Mike, Nancy, Gold. Let's see, Roasted, JW, good morning. Good morning. Thomas, Dave, Rally, Sharon, good morning. Rod, Alan, let's see, Julie, Chip, Roger, and Sonny, good morning. You know, I read through these names and I was actually thinking about this last night that I'll say years ago, but it really was just a few years ago, pre-COVID is what it was. We actually met up around the country as a group, those that could come to this place or those that go to that place. We would meet up and have group. We would have dinner, you know, talk and it's kind of a round table of members. And I really think we should try to do that again. You remember, Coach? Yeah, I think we ought to really do that again. So maybe I'll try to put something together. I would really like that. Okay, enough of that. So good morning again, everybody, and let's take a look at the market here. So it appears that the bulls are a little bit happy this morning. They're a little bit perky. Little bit. They need to, growth in the market is about when you're looking at candlesticks, it's about taking the candlesticks, thinking of them as blocks, maybe. Let's see, yeah, as building blocks. And what we're doing is you build a block, and you're putting another block up there, and you're putting another block up there, and the blocks keep going. And then another block, and some blocks have little, they're not cut square, maybe, they're not flat, so they teeter a little bit. And then another block, you see that it teeters a little, kind of, oh no, we're gonna, oh, wait. So there's some knotty wood block that's not exactly great. I mean, black candle here or red candle for other folks. And we start getting this wobbly because now we've got these three blocks up here that's kind of, whoa, where do we go? And then all of a sudden there appears, and it's just pre-market, so let's not get too excited here, but it would appear that, we have another block that looks like it's going to try to straighten us out. The thing of it is this block has to get over the tops of these blocks. Okay, it has to get over that. So right now, I mean, everybody in the world trading, that's what they're looking at. They're looking at, hey, can we get over this? I mean, this is not anything unique. This is not anything, oh, wow, never thought of that, Everybody thinks of it. Everybody sees it. So that's what everyone's watching. Can we pop over those little highs right there, jump over those little nubbins on top of those blocks? Can we get over there and then start our block building higher? And then every now and then, hey, it comes around where there's a block that just ain't worth a darn, and it just has a knot on it, and it's not flat, and it falls down, until those blocks start picking up. So anyway, sometimes I think of candlesticks. I lay awake in bed at night thinking about them, because that's price action, one of the most important things on the chart, right next to trend. Okay, I absolutely believe that trend is equally as important as price action, and price action is equally as important as trend. So when you get price action working, and you get trend working, where you get price on top of the T line. This is one of our guiding lines. It's the 8 EMA. And then T line is on top of the trend indicator. Well, right there, I think, is the cat's meow for a trend. So like right here, for instance, the trend was a little bit shot. Whoops, that was a poor one. A little bit shot. Now, it wasn't completely destroyed because the T line here, the 8 EMA, did not go below the trendicator. It wasn't completely broken. Price went there. So it's like, all right, let's be a little careful. Not really a short. We have no confirmation there's a short here, but we need to be a little patient. Let's watch what the building blocks do. And there goes the building blocks back up. So anyway, just maybe another way to look at the candlesticks. So the SPY is looking good here. We better get going. Diamonds, they're looking great. They're still, moving upward in that channel there. And we can put a channel on the SPY and the Qs as well. Just, I don't want to dirty up the chart too much, Qs are looking good. Qs are rocking here. So I think at this point, we're still a very bullish market. Very bullish market. Let's look at this T2123. We did kind of slip a little bit yesterday. We did slip a little bit, but we're not totally in bear zone here. So, it's not where I would run out and say, oh, the market's caving in. No, not yet. Not yet. If you look at VXX, you can see we're pushed down to the downside, and that is great for the bulls. That's great for the market moving up. So right now, until something is different, I still see the market moving higher and bullishly. And my next target up is going to be about that, 674.30, 674.40 level right through there. The next target after that will be up here at about that 678 or so. Let's see, we're a little more closer maybe. Yeah, 678.50, something like that. If we start to have a pullback a little bit, then I can change my lines here. But right now, this is the best one to use. Going from the September low here to this next low here in September, late September right there, and then the high in September. Okay. All right, let's take a look at some charts, a few that I have here. And you know what? I want to start with this TMQ. One of our members, Kathy, here mentioned this morning that she asked if anybody hopped into this, that I guess our government is investing in it. So, hey, looking pretty good here. And then one of our members said they bought it this morning around this 5, somewhere near the lows down here. So way to go. I think Thomas, nice job. So it's working out pretty good. I've put a couple of targets in here that I like. Here's a target right now that it's just trying to reach, and that's about that 479, 480 mark. After that, we'll look at something about 840, and then the next target up in that $9 range up here, $9 range. Thing about big charts like this, watch for profit taking. Profit taking will suck the air right out of this because there are going to be people make some pretty big profits. So they're going to just suck that money out. It'll suck it down just like you popped a hole in a balloon. Let it set up, and then we can look to trade it again, okay? Super chart, and thanks for bringing it to our attention there, Kathy. Appreciate it. All right, let's look at Sophie. For those that are in Sophie, it looks like we're going to get paid today. I know a few people bought Sophie yesterday. I was one of them. Little Sophie here. Next target I have up is in this green bar, about 28.50 in that area. And it looks like we're doing very well here on Sophie. If anyone's trying to find charts like this, a good scan, and I'll just give kind of a synopsis of what the scan would look like. Charts that have been trending up, you can use like the 50-period moving average trending. I like to use that sometimes. And then sometimes I like to use, and I have both, but I like to take the trend indicator there, the dots, and I want the trend indicator higher than the highest high in the past, say, 20 days of the trend indicator. So I want the trend indicator higher than the highest high of the trend indicator 20 days ago. I hope I'm saying that right. So what happens is, if you keep doing that, what it does is it gives you a chart that's always growing. And then we're looking for the price action we want. And the price action we want is where we've gone, and again, using the trend indicator. This is a terrific tool, the trend indicator. And I assume everybody knows that it is simply a moving average, okay? It's just the 17 EMA. So here we're green, and see how we've gone red. So now, the scan would be under the T line and the trend indicator for X days. I use 2, 3, 4 days, and then up we go. Then it alerts. And then you can always push it back one day like yesterday, and you get to see what today's is as well. So anyway, an easy scan to create for these type of charts. So, okay. So we talked about targets here. That one's looking pretty good. Take a look at ALAB maybe. There we go. Nope, that's not it. ALAB. Try that one. There we go. So here's another one doing the same thing. ALAB down, ALB up, and now we have a nice inside day right in here. Just looking at this top and bottom, just take the top here, put the bottom there. And right here is that 50% retracement. Anything over that, man, we're rocking to move up and test those highs up here. So from the bottom, so if I was looking at this, let's do it this way. Let's take, we'll take green. Say from the bottom, that would be the first trade plan right there to that 50% area. And now once we surpass that, then the trade plan would be the upper half of that 50% retracement to the high up here. So that's how I would look at how do we trade the top to bottom here? And one block that would be tradable. Here's another block that would be tradable. Uber, take a look at Uber. Uber's looking pretty good here. Uber, once we get past this line, which it appears that we are right there, I think we're good for Uber to reach back up to that 50% retracement. Here again is the same thing that I just did with, was it ALAB? Same sort of thing. So your bottom trading, and you can use any one of these lows in here. We would use those lows, but we have to get over that bottom dotted line right there. So we'll take that dotted line, and that would be one trade plan to move up to that 50%. And then the next one would be over that 50% mark, moving up, could be to the highs or to any one of these target areas up here. So just a way, just want to point out some things there. Here. Hey, I spotted this morning. I totally missed it yesterday. Didn't even talk about it yesterday, but that's okay. Take a look at SMR. I think we're setting up to move higher on SMR. So over, say this 42 mark, that's that 50% retracement area back up. Over that, I'm looking at profits this way. So let's just take this and duplicate that again. There's the next target. And we'll go ahead and put another one in there. I guess that's it. There we go. Yeah, there's another one in there. So let's keep an eye on that SMR. Hey, and look, it's very helpful if everybody, good morning, Vernon, how are you? It's very helpful if everybody keeps their eyes on these stocks. And that's what we do in the Hit Run Candlestick Room, and everybody's helping everybody. So somebody might mention, hey, SMR is popping out or moving down or something. And that'll give us a chance to go look at it, decide if we want to buy it. Congrats for those that are in it. Way to go. So looking pretty good there. Sharon is saying, be careful with that ALAB. She's had that before, and it's quite volatile. Yeah, it can get crazy. Thank you very much, Sharon. Hey, S, good morning. You're looking at some FIG here. Let's take a look. Look at FIG. Yeah, look at that. Coming off the bottom. Yeah, definitely let's look at that. That looks fantastic. It's kind of a new one. kind of a new one here, but what a great bottom we've got put in. A double bottom here. Double bottom. Let's put another line up here because it looks like we've broken or breaking out of that top over here, right there. And great candle pattern here. I'm going to come over because I just love to do this. I'm going to start right there. Yeah, that makes good sense to me, I think. We'll move it up, but yeah, no, this makes good sense to me right here. And what makes sense is the lines line up with price action. That's what I'm looking at. So one of my main targets on this is going to be up here about this, whatever that is there, 82 area. So that's basically a $20 move here. Now, as you know, we've got to get from here to there. And remember that that's our trade plan now. Our first goal is to move from wherever that entry is up to that 50% mark. And by the way, it's not a buy and hold necessarily. It could be, or you could trade it. Either one, it depends on you as a trader. So there we are there. But all that matches up with price. I can see over here on the left. So I think that's fantastic. So we move up here to that 50% mark. We've got about a 35% move in there. And again, it could be traded all at once. If you want to buy it and hold it, just manage your position. The other way is to trade it, and that's more my style. So, trade it up, take those profits when we move up, let it pull back, and then get in it again. Nice chart. I think we ought to take a peek at that. Thank you very much. Hey Chuck, how are you? Chuck is saying ELMB. Closing a third of the trade pre-market for 25 cents. You opened it yesterday. That's not it, is it? ELMB there. ELBM, Rick. ELBM. Wow. Way to go, Chuck. Chuck bought this yesterday, closing some this morning. Way to go. Sweet. All right. I've got a few more here. BMNR. I took my profits on this yesterday. And I'm very good with that. I'm happy with that. Okay. I see it moving up and I think that's fantastic. And I'm not upset that I took my profits on it. I'm extremely happy. For those that are still holding it, way to go. For those that want to get in it again, like myself, and take that next trade, I'm going to patiently wait for a setup. And I'm going to go to a 2-day chart. 2-day chart. And all I'm doing on a 2-day chart is showing you the bigger picture. It's not like I'm going to trade from a 2-day chart. But if you take a look at this, once we start breaking out over this level right here, these highs, 71, there is a ton of money to be made up here. So that 71 will be our ultimate target to get over, and then we can look at that upside. And I think for the most part, we are most likely to see some consolidation. Could be, it could start today. It could be up here. But when it does, that's where we should start looking for that entry. And the same with, it can break out and it's likely to consolidate as well. That has more probabilities in it than the stock just simply doing this. I mean, that is not a high probability trade or an idea there. There's more probability of a little bit of rest. We just have to be on top of it is all. And I'll do my best to be on top of it. So BMR still looks fantastic here. Open. We need to take a look at open. Open is a buy right when the market opens, if you ask me. That's looking pretty good there. Target to the upside. Of course, there's always going to be a target where the highs are. That's always a target. And then the next one above that, I'm looking at about that 1340 area on that one. Okay. Microsoft is looking good here. Very good. And I mean, that's just a simple trade moving up toward the recent high. And if you're looking for targets on, this is an easy one. And we can draw target lines on it too, but man, right there, just those recent highs makes for a perfect target area on Microsoft. SOUN is looking good. And here's APA. That's still holding up. Hey, Frank, good morning. Sure. Let's look at Pays, PAYS. Yeah. Pays is still a bullish chart to me. And I still see it moving up to retest these highs. And that's what it needs to break out of. That's the new trick for it. That's the new minimum. At the bare minimum, it's got to take out these highs, and that's going to put that $6.97 area in target here. So let's draw those boxes on this, okay? So here's our low right there. And then our target or our playground, up to that 50% area, all this is our playground. So now it's tradable based on your rules. And, for me, it's, I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to use price action, the trend indicator, and the T line. And then this is the 50 period moving average here. Okay. So the fact that we've rallied up over the 50 period moving average is like a plus for me. And both price, T line, trend indicator over the 50. Now it's a matter of managing that trade in there. So I'm not sure what your rules are, but I mean, I would sure want it to stay above that T line or the 8 EMA. If it did pop down a little bit low, I don't know that I would be too bent out of shape unless it started to get below that 50 period moving average. But that certainly is not what we want. And if you look at yesterday's candle, which we tried over here to get through, we tried over here to get through, we tried yesterday to get through, can't get it through. So maybe what it needs, and this happens a lot, where price sort of dips down. Well, what it does is it comes in low, allows new money to come in, and then that'll push it up. And I'm not in Pays, but if I was in Pays, that's what I would be looking for. That does not mean that it can't get a little ornery before it breaks out. Okay. But anyway, Pays to me is still a really good looking chart. I just looked over here at my cloud chart, and that might give a little insight as well. And you guys, I guess well, and this is a fact, I'm not a cloud connoisseur. I'm not somebody who gets into the cloud and, this line does this and that line does the other thing, and this means this and this net means the other thing. I don't do that. What I do is I look at the cloud here, and when you're in the cloud, price tends to be a little frumpy, not exactly rocking, but it slowly works up, and it likes to come to the top of the cloud, and that becomes a pretty darn good resistance area. And that's where that 50% is. So it's trying to work its way up there, and then we need to watch for that breakout. But right now, I'm still good with that, unless we start breaking down, see below the T line, that would put you below the cloud, and below the trend indicator would put you below the cloud. And that's not where you want to be. Okay, you don't want to be there. Cloud it'll rain on you. Okay. All right, before we run off here, a couple things I want to do is let's take a look at some gold stocks. And I'm not going to take these from any kind of, I didn't write them on any paper. I'm just going to take from my scans here, just that simple. And let's take the first 3 or 4, then we're going to look at some energy stocks as well. So I'm looking at stocks that, for the most part this morning, they're looking pretty good. I'm looking for them that's in our road to wealth trend. And then I'm going to look for that 3-8 trap there. There we go. Look for that 3-8 trap. So let's take a look at SLV. SLV is in a 3-8 trap. It's in our road to wealth trend, and that's when price and T-line trend indicator are tracking. Take a look at AEM 3-8 trap. And that's where we're above the 8 EMA and above or below the 3 EMA. And I use the high, by the way. And again, our trend is tracking, price, T-line, trend. If we take a look at AG, same thing. 3-8 trap, price or our trend is tracking. These are all great looking charts for the watch list, being ready to buy. CDE looks fantastic. Look at that beautiful trend. We're even getting this little sideways tight consolidation going on, and the trend is tracking. If we take a look at KGC, same thing, all good setup there. Let's run over and look at some oil / energy. Let me make that. I'm just turning the scan on to rescan for some things. There we go. Take a look at AG here. Trend is starting to track. Price, T-line trend indicator. We also above the 50. And there's your 3-8 trap right there. Here's MPC. Trend is tracking. 3-8 trap. I think it's pretty clear we need to get through those tops right there, but nice little flag setting up on that one. I don't particularly like Conoco chart-wise. I mean, it fits everything we want, but I don't like that one. Here's XON, Exxon trying to move up, and T-line price, T-line trend indicator is starting to track here. We're having a little turn right now, going from red to green. Here's DVN. I don't think we need that. There's DVN trying to lift up as well. All right. Let's see. Hey, Neil, good morning. Yeah, Microsoft. We just peeked at that one, but we'll do that again because it's such a good looking chart. Yeah, Microsoft is it's an inside day. It's bullish. It's a buy right now inside this area. Targets 332, 330, 537, 532, 537, and then maybe up here at that 555. Just simply look at those highs. Those are perfect target areas on that. But yeah, overall, Microsoft is absolutely a bullish chart. Hey, Vernon, look at some TJ Maxx. TJX. There we go. Yeah, TJX is looking pretty good. Looking real good, I think. And, just like what we were looking at here a moment ago, and I'm just going to box that in right there, and then we'll do this. You can see the trend is that's too small. The trend is tracking. There's the trend indicator. Price is above the T-line, T-line above the trend indicator. Here we've got a nice little pullback, bullish engulf, inside day. That's rocking. So now what we want to do is, where do we need to be concerned? Always be concerned at these tops. That is a target. That is also resistance. And just 1 second. I need a drink here. Cold coffee. Yummy. And we're setting up for that 3-8 trap. So I'm 2 thumbs up with TJ Maxx. Looking good. GE. Yeah, GE is looking good. I'm long GE myself in my larger account, and I think it's still setting up. The important thing here for me, what I'm looking at, is the trend is still tracking. Price T-line trend indicator is still green. If that was to change, then I will consider closing it in my larger account. I'm up pretty good on it, so I could certainly get out of it and wait for it to come back up. But right now, the trend is still tracking. If I was not in it and I wanted to buy it, I would probably wait for some kind of a breakout up here around that 302 area myself, just me. And then Google. Yeah, Google looking good. Look at that. I mean, that looking fantastic. So if anybody loved Google yesterday, you should love it more today, because now it's giving you a better place, a better price to enter it on an inside day. But Google looks really good. Okay. Hey, Sharon. Yeah, I don't mind passing those scans out to you. I can't do it right this second. And in all honesty, I got to jet out of here this morning, and I won't be here today. I'll be here late this afternoon. I might be able to get them to you, but I will get them to you. Just remind me of it. Okay. Let's look at Tesla. Yeah, Tesla's kind of setting up. Tesla's sort of what are you going to do? You can't argue with the trend. Okay. We had an ugly candle over here. Very ugly candle. We had a little bit of follow through and it came back up, but that was price. Price can be, kind of like you guys have seen those posters, this is your brain on drugs. I don't know if you guys remember those. I haven't seen them in a long time. Um, but that's what we've got going on with price right now is this is your brain on drugs. And it's pretty sloppy, maybe scary for some, but you can't deny the trend. You just cannot deny the trend. And here's what we've got. Price above the 8 above the trend indicator, and the trend indicator has remained green. You can't deny that. So with that said, right now I have to look at Tesla here being bullish. Once we take out, right in this level here, that next level is in that whatever that is. Got to be just under 490. Yeah, 487 up there. Yeah. Thomas, I'm not 100% sure. Target with fib. You love Google? Well, okay, but Alan, you know that I don't use fib lines, okay? What you're thinking is not fib lines. And let me explain that, and then I have to go, okay? So I just want to look at a monthly chart real quick, just to confirm there's nothing over on the left here. So let's take this, and I'm going to go from these lows right here, that low. So we'll rally up, hit that low, and then I'm going to take this up to these highs, and then I'm going to come down to these lows right here, and that's what I'm going to use from the next swing target. So up into the 258 mark, around 263.80, and then up there around 260, the high 269s is what I'm using, okay? All right, folks, I really need to run. I do want to thank everybody for being here. Absolutely appreciate it. Alan, I don't have time to explain those lines right now. Like I said, they weren't fib lines necessarily. Please catch me in the room, and I will be more than happy to explain them to you, okay? I just have a doctor's appointment that I'm already need to be out the door for, okay? You guys take care.